All right, we're going to talk about, what happened in the UN, right, this week with Israel. Israel, huh? It's the country that can turn Jews into Republicans. Are back in the news. For those of you who don't pay attention to Israel and therefore are happier people, one of the great stumbling blocks to peace with the Palestinians is the building of settlements in disputed territories. Yes, this might be your ancestral home. Well, while we're figuring that out, we're going to build a suburb here for Semitic yuppies. Yes. Despite the quiet pleas of the United States State Department trying to broker peace. Basically, if a two-state solution is the punch bowl, settlements are the turd, okay? So when the UN decided to pass a resolution condemning the settlements, the Obama administration did not exercise their veto power on the Security Council. They abstained. They didn't even go so far as to say, yeah, we think those settlements are a shitty idea too. They just played Pokemon Go on their phones while everybody else was saying that shit. And let's remember, a UN resolution, they are generally not terribly forceful edicts, okay? What? The resolution they voted on after this one was to lose 15 pounds in the new coming year.
No, not you.
However, as with all things done by a black president, the Republicans lost their fucking minds over this. Here's Newt Gingrich's tweet. President Obama abandoned Israel today at the UN this vote, okay?
Abandoned.
Also
gave them $30 billion.
Well, there you go.
$38 billion. I was off by $8 billion.
$38 billion. So they got pissed. So wait a minute. Barack Obama got pissed off at you and stuck it to you while handing you $38 billion? Did Israel get divorced from Mel Gibson? What the fuck? I wrote that joke. I feel proud of myself. Hey, here's $38 billion. Don't do that shit again. Quit it with the settlements already, will ya? So let's go on. So it's not only... well, first of all, he also said this. Why is Obama team waging war against Israel? Why are they taking steps to isolate and then kill a democracy and an ally?
This is like talking to my dad.
I personally think that we should pull out of the UN because of the way they're treating Israel. Get rid of everything that's ever been decided there, except for the one thing that created Israel.
Oh, that Republican guy. When you point the finger.
That's not
so.
Cool.
Yeah, that's him saying that. Why are they taking steps to isolate and then kill a democracy and an ally? I don't know.
It's well reasoned.
That would be $38 billion. Obama is the worst anti-Semite of all fucking time. Yeah. Is he nice? It's nice of Obama to set a good example as he's handing over the House keys to a Republican administration full of maniacs. That's exactly what he's doing. But it wasn't only people like Newt Gingrich who were pissed off at this. The Washington Post. This was their editorial, by the editorial board of the Washington Post, which, was really, really liberal.
They loved Bernie.
They loved him. They only wrote 16 fucking stories in 2 minutes about it. So there is Samantha Powers, right? That's her. She's looks like she's red. She's got hemorrhoids. And
it looks like a very old Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah, doesn't it? I'm normally against making fun of people's appearance unless it's Chris Christie. I will make an exception. You are comparing her to a Hollywood star. All right, so let's go. Here's what the Washington Post had to say about it. They go, President Obama's decision to abstain on a UN Security Council resolution condemning Israeli settlements reverses decades of practice by both Democratic and Republican presidents. Fucking no, it doesn't. No, they've all been against the settlements, starting with Reagan. Right? Am I right about that, Robert? Yes, thank you, Robert. He's more up on this than me. And they went on to say the United States vetoed past resolutions on the grounds that they unreasonably singled out Jewish communities in occupied territories as an obstacle to Mideast peace, and that UN action was more likely to impede than advance negotiations between Israelis and Palestinians. That seems like a bunch of bullshit. I don't know what all that means, but it means nothing. It means like they used to do this shit for fucked up reasons, and now they won't do it anymore. That's what it means to me. They used to do this because they used to say this unreasonably singled out the Jewish community, and now they won't do that anymore. The measure approved 14-0. Tough, close vote. Really close. So you could see how they could be pissed off. This could go either way. It's like the soccer games. They have to have a shootout afterwards, right? That's how close this vote was. It said it will encourage Palestinians to pursue more international sanctions against Israel rather than seriously consider the concessions necessary for statehood, and it will give a boost to the international boycott and divestment movement against the Jewish state, which has become a rallying cause for anti-Zionists. That's what they say.
You guys, they're the only democracy in the Middle East, and we need to support them so they can kill everybody.
At the same time, it will almost certainly not stop Israeli construction in the West Bank. So because this won't stop construction in the West Bank, so because someone won't stop doing the shitty thing that they're doing, we shouldn't say the shitty thing they're doing is shitty. Isn't that what the Washington Post is saying there? I have it written down in a different way. Let me read it. According to the Washington Post, we can't condemn because we might get condemned for not condemning something we should be condemning. Our Israeli officials charged that the abstention represented a vindictive parting shot by Mr. Obama to Mr. Netanyahu, with whom he has feuded more bitterly than he did with most U.S. adversaries.
Right, but Netanyahu was a fucking dick across the board. Good. Shut up, you fucking bitch. I mean, I don't want to... Like, seriously, what a little fucking baby.
I will not stand here
Sorry.
and listen to you denigrate Benjamin Netanyahu. That we cannot afford to upset him, or we will lose. I know there is something that we will lose. I can't remember what it is.
Wow, what will we lose? What would we lose?
If we weren't friends with
Israel.
Like, bros with Israel?
Yeah,
I think that's the term,
if
bros.
we weren't Benjamin Bros.
Well, we wouldn't... SodaStream.
Fuck, I have a SodaStream.
I have a SodaStream, too. So
I do have a SodaStream,
let's
which I think
keep
is...
it copacetic.
I think it's made by Palestinians
Shit,
in the
what?
occupied territory. I think it is. I think I'm not supposed to like it. By the way, here's how Israel just responded. Israel suspended working ties with Britain, France, Russia, China, Japan, Ukraine, Angola, Egypt, Uruguay, Spain, Senegal, and New Zealand. So it turns out the BDS movement, they're doing it for every fucking themselves. They're doing it.
It's the international version of a shit fit.
Yeah.
It's
And they say Trump is a maniac. This is a fucking guy.
How's New Zealand gonna get by? That they're fucking awesome Israel ties.
I get what Israel's saying, that we don't want to send the wrong message that Palestinians are human beings too. Yeah. You don't want to do. You got to be very careful.
That hasn't been proven. We're still waiting on more data.
So are you telling me after everything is said and done that we're giving Israel $38 billion and they're still upset?
Yep.
Yes.
Listen, I have to say this. You know, I think I speak for every woman in this room. Like, you can call me a cunt and give me $38 billion and I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm fine.
Okay. I will accept the offer.
Line swarms over there.
By the way, I don't know if you guys know this. Israel has they have universal health care.
Oh, and we're giving them money.
Yeah.
That's weird. How can they afford their universal health care?
No.
Let me just say this about the right-wing Israeli governments. You give them an inch and they take the West Bank. Am I right? What the fuck about that? $38 billion we gave them. $38 billion. We're going to give you all this money, but you have to listen to our stern scolding on your answering machine.
They're never giving it up because that's where the water comes from.
They gave him $38 billion and they tell him to cut it out. Sounds like Hillary a little bit, right? Cut it out. $38 billion.
Is that the weapons? The weapons they give them? The 38 billion is in weapons.
They give, yes, that was for, that's exactly what,
Yeah.
yes, that was for that. But let me just say that's like my heroin dealer. He said, I actually watch out for my health, and he gave me an extra free bump for the new year. That's what we're doing. It's like, hey, you better leave those settlements alone. There's fucking 38 billion. Go get them, buddy. Go get them. Go get them. Come on. You know we're just fucking around. That's Obama. He wants to look good to the liberals who don't pay attention.